They did it again. They tried to eliminate Donald Trump, and more has come out today. It's looking more and more like this may be more than just some crazy lunatic. What is up? Are they going to try it again? Spoiler alert, probably yes. We're going to in-depth break it down tonight, as well as breaking news, and World War III is imminent. Big Picture Live is on. Let's go, y'all. All right, welcome in to the Big Picture. I see the live chat's already blowing up here tonight. Go ahead and smash that like button right off the bat. It's the best thing you can do to help us. We say that every week. I know you get tired of hearing it sometimes, but nothing helps us like hitting that like button and subscribing and sharing and commenting. That's big. And as I always try to tell you at the beginning of the program, even if you're active in the live chat, and just do that tonight, just be in there with your Big Picture family. But when it's over with, if this channel is a blessing to you, go down in the comment section and make a comment about the show, because nothing puts us in the front of other people when the show goes off like a ton of comments. The algorithms love that. All right, so we're going to get into it tonight. I'm looking over to see if she's ready. I think the queen is in the house.
She's on her way.
She's on her way, y'all. She's on her way. So I'm getting ready to bring her in. She is here. She is ready. She can't wait to see you. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome the
She's
queen.
in for a landing.
There she is. The star of the show. Everybody loves Sandy. Everybody loves Sandy.
I don't know about that, but it's good to be back.
Yes, it's always good to have you on here, babe. And
great to see
we'll
everybody.
later on in the program, we'll give everybody an update what's going on in your life. But just needless to say, it is a blessing that you were able to be here tonight. We'll talk more about that. But Sandy, this is crazy. We were at your dad's house when the breaking news came out.
I said, hey, I just got an update on my phone. Might want to check yours.
Yeah, so I went outside. If some of you saw that show, I was sitting on the porch out there and did a breaking news thing as quick as I could, with the fact that at first when it came out about the shooting in West Palm Beach, that they tried to spin it immediately as a narrative of just crossfire between two rival gangs. I mean, who knew gang activity was going on in West Palm Beach? It's not a hotbed for gang activity. We immediately were suspicious, and that's been confirmed. So we got a lot of ground to cover on this tonight. It's still on a lot of people's minds. Yeah. We're going to show you a clip from a news conference that happened just before we went on the air of the Secret Service. And y'all, I'm telling you, this dude that just took over for the woman that resigned, he is pathetic. I'm just going to say that right now. And I'm sure you're listening, Secret Service, but you're pathetic, dude. You are so full of yourself, and they are not protecting former Donald Trump. So let's get into it. And we got a lot to break down from the Daily Mail. Donald Trump assassination attempt. These are live updates here. The fallout of the second attempt to end the life of Donald Trump in 2 months continues today as questions mount over how a gunman was able to get within 500 yards of the former president. Ryan Wesley Ruth, 58, made his first appearance in court in West Palm Beach, Florida, after pointing an AK-47 at the Republican nominee during a round of golf. Federal prosecutors released new details as Routh, I don't know how to say his name.
I'll pronounce it
Routh. Somebody said Ruth or Routh, I don't know. Was charged with 2 federal gun crimes. His cell phone was picked up near the tree line of the golf course 12 hours before the Secret Service agents. And we're going to talk about that. 12 hours. 12 hours. We're going to really break that down. All right, so of course, what they've done is they've arrested him, and they've did these 2 federal gun crimes to give something to hold him on. But I am anxious to see what is going to end up being the charge, because if you remember, they are saying that he never got a shot off, that the Secret Service fired 4 rounds.
Pow.
Yeah, at him. That's supposed to be the Secret Service.
Yeah.
And the fact that he ran away and that he did not fire, I would not be surprised if they just, because they couldn't charge him with attempted, what. And so what are they going to charge him with? Because usually the people that do this do not survive.
Yeah. Usually the time when I say dead men can tell no tales.
Yes.
So yeah, this is interesting for that. We've been getting what little I could look at the television today. They've been giving pretty much an expose on this man. So I am also anxious to see what happens.
All right, I'm going to need you to speak up just a little bit tonight.
Okay.
There you go. There you go.
Right.
Okay, so let's go a little bit deeper here into this crazy dude here, okay? So the strange connection. Now, this right here, I want to lead with this right now, and I'm just going to go ahead and go there, okay? We're just going to go right down the rabbit hole, and then we're going to see where it takes us. But this is weird that this came out. At first, when I saw this, I said, this is not real. This can't be real.
You're like, no way.
There's no way.
No way.
But look at the strange connection between Trump's two assassination plotters. Both appeared.
Assassination.
Assassination. I like that. I'll use that. Assassination. Both appeared in BlackRock commercials. We ain't talked about BlackRock in a long time, y'all. They're the wealthiest firm in the world that manages people's money, trillions of dollars that they manage. And they are the leader. They were the ones that brought in the whole DEI movement, the whole ESG movement, all this kind of stuff. And Sandy, we covered the guy in Pennsylvania, the kid. They did a commercial about his school, and he was in it.
Trying to get at they may, besides managing people's money, that they may have a mind control program?
They may be managing minds. They may be managing.
While they're making commercials?
Yeah. I think they may be managing timelines. They may be managing MK Ultra. What cough talk?
Yeah.
I might have to do a lot of cough talk tonight.
I could give you a cough drop. You could do cough drop talk.
Yeah. Oh, look at you, baby, just throwing them jokes out there. After a second failed assassination attempt of former President Donald Trump, more shocking details about Ryan Wesley Routh, the man behind the plot, have emerged, who was apprehended after attempting to target Trump at the West Palm Beach Golf Club, has now linked to the financial giant BlackRock in an eerie twist of events.
Eerie.
Very eerie. Oh, and by the way, it says both Meta and X, formerly Twitter, have taken swift action to remove Routh's social media accounts. Routh's Facebook page was pulled shortly after authorities identified him from a witness photo, and his X account was suspended shortly after the incident. His online footprint revealed a deep well of anti-Trump rhetoric, as well as strong support for Democratic candidates.
Who's writing this article?
And
deep well?
Yeah.
What?
And pro-Ukraine content. Yet, in what came to light afterward, that is what raises eyebrows. Routh starred in a commercial for BlackRock, a company tied to the elite global interests. Even more bizarre is that Thomas Matthew Crooks, the man who attempted to assassinate Trump at a Pennsylvania rally 2 months ago, also appeared in a BlackRock ad. This is just coincidence.
Oh, yeah. Certainly.
Out of millions and millions of people. And by the way, how many BlackRock commercials have you ever seen in your life? And you managed to get both assassination people in two different commercials? Look, all right, so this right here is the commercial that the first one was.
My name is Brian DeLallo. I teach AP and honors economics in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
That was him right
Financial
there.
well-being to me is knowing that I can be free to do the things that I love to do.
BlackRock, they're trying to really promote.
I hope when I retire someday, they say that guy made this place a special place to come to school.
There he is. All right, so there is this student at this school. The first assassination person is in a BlackRock commercial, and he appears one more time. This one here, this is just a clip of the commercial, only 8 seconds of it, and this is a pro-Ukrainian BlackRock commercial. Because you remember, let's not forget, back at when this war was first going on, we covered here on The Big Picture that BlackRock went to Ukraine. I don't know if you remember this, had a sit-down meeting with Zelensky, and Zelensky signed an agreement. They made a video. We showed it agreeing to let BlackRock fund the rebuilding of Ukraine when the war was over.
Wow.
Do you remember that?
I did not even remember that.
Yes, we covered it. We showed the video, and you can find it. I thought about it the other day, and I went back and found it. It's still out there, but it's not real easy to find.
Okay.
But Ukraine
Interesting.
inked a deal with Zelensky to be the funding person to rebuild Ukraine when the war was over. And here we have a commercial that's pro-Ukraine by BlackRock, and the second assassinator is in this. Watch this.
Purpose of the action is to appeal to world leaders.
There he is.
What
Y'all, there he is.
organization? What organization leaders?
Is somebody in Hollywood writing all of this? Is crazy.
Is this insane?
This is crazy.
You got, I mean, I want to know how many BlackRock commercials are there really that's ever made it to the airwaves, and what's the chances that in both of them you've got two people within 2 months
Yep.
try to take out the same man who's running for president?
Thanks, Kevin. That was going to be one of my points. Is the first guy didn't even have a digital footprint?
Yeah, exactly.
Is what's he saying?
Supposedly, yeah, but you're right.
Talking about mind control. Crazy.
Okay,
What
so
kid doesn't have a digital footprint?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's impossible. It's impossible.
way.
It's impossible. You got to understand that when you're talking about AI, and we talk a lot about AI on this show, AI has the ability to scrub and go deep
Right.
into the internet and find any trace of someone and scrub it. I'm telling you, they can do it instantly in real time. And then you automatically go to the suspicion of why then did they scrub him, but they didn't scrub this one? Why did this one survive and they didn't scrub him?
Exactly.
And then you factor in BlackRock, the wealthiest, probably wealthiest known, and we know there's a lot of unknown wealthy out there that nobody knows about, but there is the wealthiest known company in the world that manages trillions and trillions of dollars.
Yep.
Could it be that they may be connected to people who do manipulate the mind? And what are the chances that you have two people
Yes.
like this in these two commercials?
Yes.
That is just crazy.
Really, really crazy.
So, yeah, comment and give me some comments in the comment section in the live chat. Let me know what you think about that, because to me, that is,
Good point.
That
Six
is-
and episodes with a different twist.
yeah, right, exactly. It's just, you can't make this stuff up. Like you just said, who is writing this
Who
script?
is writing the script?
This is crazy. All right, so let me just see here. So let's go a little bit deeper, okay?
Let's do it.
So, what do they do immediately? Immediately, anytime this happens to a conservative, or they want to push a narrative that somehow this person must have been Republican, had to have been right-wing extremist. Well, guess what? They went to his home because he lives in Hawaii. We're going to talk about that in a minute, too. They found his house, and when they got to his house, there was his trunk. He's a roofer. He left, I guess he flew to Florida. He left his truck in his driveway of his house, and look at the tailgate.
Yeah.
I mean, all right, there it is. By the way, you don't put that on your bumper if you are not the real deal supporting them, because you don't want people to question you. Are you support them, whatever? And by the way, this doesn't say Harris-Walls. This says Biden-Harris, which means he didn't just put it on there.
No.
This is an old bumper sticker.
Yeah.
Okay? So, alleged would-be Trump assassin had Biden-Harris bumper sticker on pickup truck in Hawaii home. The alleged gunman who targeted former president had a Biden-Harris bumper sticker on the back of his pickup truck in his home in Kauai, Hawaii. Ralph, 58, frequently posted about politics online and has exclusively donated to Democratic candidates and causes since 2019. It has since been revealed. Ralph advised Biden, 81, in an April 22nd X post when he was still running for re-election to run a campaign around, quote, America democratic and free. He also claimed that Trump wants to make America slaves again make Americans slaves against master. Okay, whatever. But this is him. Look at this. It's weird, this whole infatuation with Ukraine.
Yes.
But today's events marks the second time. This is rehashing some of that. But so let me get down to this right here. This was Speaker of the House. Went down and visited him at Mar-a-Lago. Okay, so let me go back here and bring it back to us. Sandy, comment on what you think about the fact that, okay, first of all, let's go back to this right here, and then I want to ask you a question. So this man lives in Florida. Lives in Hawaii. Lives in Hawaii. He has multiple arrests and convictions in North Carolina. He is a convicted felon. Number one, he's not supposed to have a weapon, period. But he had a weapon that the serial number had been scratched off.
Filed off of.
And the question has to be asked, how did a man that is just supposedly a roofer, who just happens to have been to Ukraine and Taiwan and made videos there, and made a video saying, if you'll come and help me fight for Ukraine, I'll pay you $1,200 a month. Have you seen that video? I couldn't find it right before we went online, but it's a video. They've scrubbed it. But I've seen it. He's in Ukraine saying, come. He's asking those that got out of Afghanistan, former Afghan fighters, you've had so much done for you, come to Ukraine and help us fight against Russia, because you know Russia is your sworn enemy, and I will pay you $1,200 a month. How is a roofer going to pay anybody anything, let alone $1,200 a month? And why is he trying to build the Ukrainian military? And now he's in a BlackRock commercial.
I got it. The CIA is fronting him money from the poppy fields that they have in the Middle East, and he's out there hiring.
Listen, it's not hard to believe.
Hiring people.
Look, you're trying to be funny, but it's not funny. No. It's not funny. It's not a joke. It's very possible.
Oh, God. This whole thing is funny. He's driving around. He's a roofer.
He's a roofer.
Driving around
Look at his truck.
In his white pickup truck. He's a roofer, and he's traveling all over the world making videos.
Yeah.
And he's trying to hire people.
Yeah.
To go fight.
To go fight for Ukraine.
The Ukrainian war. And then he takes a little break and moseys on down to Florida.
Okay. All right. Let's go there. So he's back in Hawaii. How does a man that's in Hawaii fly to Florida, go to Mar-a-Lago, the area of Mar-a-Lago, and happen to be there when Trump, and how does he know that Trump is about to go golfing? Because it is being reported by multiple people, including Trump's own team, that this was a last-minute decision, that he did not put this out on his calendar.
So you mean the crazy man's got an inside man? Is that what you're saying? Crazy man got somebody on the inside? Oh, God. No, he's working. He works directly for the CIA.
Sandy, do not get me kicked off tonight.
I'm sorry.
Please.
You asked the question. I'm trying to help.
Okay, but so how did he know?
Okay.
How did he know?
Sarah, I'm sorry. We're not being mean. We're being silly about this whole
we are not,
paint
listen,
a picture, make a scenario.
Let me answer this. I'm not trying to be mean to you, Sarah, or anybody else, but listen to me. If you watch this show, any part of time, and you hear my wife laughing, you hear me laughing, do not ever think that is out of disrespect.
No.
You may think it is. It is because, guess what? We're having to deal with a lot of mess when we have to do these things.
Yes.
And sometimes you have to laugh to keep from crying. So I'm not trying to be offensive to anybody, but you need to know where we come from. We're not taking this lightly.
Look, I think we're verbal.
And that wasn't a direct shot at you.
No.
I want you to know that. I'm talking about, what was her name? I can't remember. That was not a direct. I'm not trying to call you out and embarrass you. This is not the first time that people have said, I can't believe that you were on there laughing about this. We are not laughing about this. We're laughing about the insanity of what we're trying to process here.
How we got here, because this is crazy that here we are again so soon. I mean, it's unusual for a president to have one assassination attempt, let alone two, in such a short period of time. I know he's a candidate on this side, but he is a former president. And when we sit here and start thinking, well, how could this have happened? How did this play out?
Right.
It's just if we are to believe what is trickling out of the media, I can only arrive at some stupid, crazy scenario that we're talking about here because this does not make sense in the real world.
No,
okay?
it don't.
It just doesn't.
It doesn't make sense. And so look, let's get back into it. By the way, if you hadn't smashed that like button, now what are you waiting on? Come on, show some love, show some love. Smash it, smash it, smash it. Would-be assassin targeting Trump may have had inside information. This is where we were just asking on his schedule. Ex-FBI official warns a scary possibility. This was him. And by the way, when he was arraigned today in court, they said he smiled and laughed. People are saying that that's a sign of mental illness. I believe that might be a sign of demonic activity. I believe there may be some activation of some demons in there.
Okay, well, activation, since you said that, let's just take another little sideshow for a moment. Most of you know the author, speaker, minister who passed away, Russ Dizdar, and his book about the Black Awakening.
Yeah.
Is this anything to do with what he was talking about?
Wow.
Certain people being activated. A lot of his ministry had to do with sexual ritual abuse and a very dark tone. But he talked about basically an uprising of people. Some of them would be assassins.
Yeah.
I'm searching as much as you guys are.
Absolutely.
We would like to know answers instead of these trickling out of crazy scenarios and information that doesn't make sense.
So Ryan Routh, 58, the alleged would-be assassin, arrested for targeting former President Donald Trump. He says that Chris Swecker, a retired FBI assistant director, told Newsweek that law enforcement community is now focused on determining how Routh appeared to know Trump would be at the West Palm Beach golf course on Sunday. I mean, come on. The biggest question to answer is, how did the would-be assassin now know to be at that location at that time? He then added the possibility of inside knowledge is, quote, a scary and dangerous reality that cannot be ignored. All right, let's see if do we have a video of this? I don't think we have a video of this. So let's read a little bit of his comments from Newsweek. He says, there's little doubt that the demonization, what an interesting choice of words there.
Exactly.
Demonization of Trump is resonating with the fringe elements who are mentally unstable and highly impressionable. So it may be time to tone it down a bit. You think? He said Routh had been involved in some strange quests, including trying to get Afghan fighters into Ukraine to fight the Russians.
Right.
We know this suspect has posted about Trump being a danger to democracy and has been active on some strange quests, visiting Ukraine to round up Afghan fighters. So motive is coming into focus. He is a wingnut who dislikes authority, and based on his arrest record for resisting arrest in a 2-hour standoff.
This is what...
Yeah, exactly. So Swecker said Routh believed those sayings that Trump is an existential, I can never say that word.
Existential.
Threat. He's a bad threat. Remember Porky Pig when he go?
That's all, folks.
Yeah, but he would be trying to say something like if he was trying to say I love you, he'd go I really care for you. Okay, Swecker said Routh believed that saying that Trump is an really bad threat to democracy and allegedly decided to take matters in his own hand. My question is this, and this is where the article is going. Where did he hear that he is a threat to democracy? Where did it get pounded in him? Every single mainstream media brings on the Democrats. They all say the same thing, including Biden and Harris have all said this man is a danger to democracy. They've called him Hitler. They've called him everything in the world.
Maybe he got the same memo the rest of the Dems get.
I mean, apparently he did.
and the liberals.
Apparently he
We
did.
should play a montage. We should keep that on cue, the montage of all the
Threat to democracy. Threat to democracy.
people sitting behind the desk, all the media news anchors saying the same thing in unison, hundreds of them at one time.
All right, so okay, let's go back to this one more. We got a couple more things, then we got breaking news on other places, but we got to dive into this because this is big, y'all. This cannot be.
How many days till the election? 54, 50. You got a countdown on your phone?
How many days until November 5th?
She's very helpful.
50 days.
50 days.
50 days.
50 days
But some
of
people are
insanity and
some people's already
craziness.
voting. Some people's already voting's already started. All right, but wait a minute. Listen to this. Okay, so the question is this: how this came out, y'all just right before we went on the air. Look at this: suspected gunman was near Trump's golf course for over 11 hours.
Do they know this because of phone tag?
Because of the phone.
Okay.
The phone was tracked, and I heard this one person talking about it today, and she said the only other explanation would be that he just left his phone there for 11 hours and went shopping or something and came back and there was his phone. Very, very unlikely, okay, that he would leave his phone there in the premises.
Probably.
But listen to this. Mobile phone records show that the man charged in connection with the apparent assassination attempt against Donald Trump was in the vicinity of the former president Florida's golf course for more than 11 hours before being spotted. Now, hang on a second. Let me correct you, Reuters. Look how they're covering for them. By authorities. They were, unless he's talking about the barrel, the only reason they caught this guy was because somebody else saw him running out of the trees, thought this must be suspicious, took a picture of his car and a picture of his tag, and they went with the information of this bystander, and they found him. And I'm going to show you the press conference right after this where they are just patting each other on the back that they have done a tremendous job nabbing this guy, and they did nothing other than, thank God, saw the barrel and did the four shots.
Was that car stolen?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, I haven't heard that if it is. All right, so that's him when they arrested him. I mean, I'm sorry, he just don't look like a dude that would have the intelligence to just plan this out and just somebody leaked to him that he was going to be there. Somebody had to. Because you're going to go 11 hours in advance. How about this? 11 hours in advance. That means he got there at like right after midnight, because this Eastern time, about 1 a.m. I think is what it was. Because let's go back to this and finish reading this, because I think everybody wants to know this part here.
Yeah.
It says he spent almost 12 hours lying in wait for the former president of the golf course. For former president at his golf course.
Some bug spray, or he'll be having ant bites all over him.
True.
Sorry about that. Seriously, though.
Look,
Okay,
2
I
a.m.
know it was lush. I know there's a lot of foliage. There's trees everywhere.
It's just trees.
There's a canopy. It's shaded. But seriously, dude's going to sit there for 12 hours?
Yeah. So he arrived just before 2 a.m. on Sunday. 2 a.m. Camped at the spot
Okay.
where he was concealed in the tree line with food and an assault rifle until 1:31 p.m. when he was allegedly spotted by Trump's security team and fled in a black Nissan without opening fire. He was arrested on Sunday and appeared in court on Monday, less than 24 hours after he thought to have made an attempt on the U.S. president's life. He was seen smiling and laughing with his lawyer. He is charged with possession of a firearm, prohibited person, a convicted felon, possession of a firearm with an obliterated serial number. This just gets crazier. And then you go yesterday when it happened. Okay, when I'm doing my show, I'm like, okay, I'm going to show this press conference, or show some clips from it because it'd be too long to show. And I showed the whole thing because the whole press conference was 11 minutes and 7 seconds. 11 minutes. The second time in 2 months. And the press conference is 11 minutes and 7 seconds.
And this is all you have to say?
There was nothing answered.
No.
Secret Service. Did you see the Secret Service guy? He goes, somebody says, establishing the fact that this is the second time this has happened to the former president, what kind of extended measures have you done since July 13th? How do you feel about the response? Secret Service dude gets up there. Go back and watch it. He goes, yeah, we've increased a few things and we've changed a few things. I think we all agree that we live in danger times.
Danger times.
Danger times. He was so nervous he couldn't even say dangerous times.
Yeah.
Speaking of,
You got a kick out of that one.
I did, because that was embarrassing. So speaking of the acting Secret Service director, he's a jerk. You remember he lost his cool before Congress. I thought at one point he was going to try to fight some senators because he got so mad at them trying to accuse him. He thinks that they did a perfect job in July. And I'm just going to let you hear his opening remarks and just listen to the smart aleck tone that he has.
Let me turn it over to the United States Secret Service Acting Director, Ron Rowe.
Good afternoon, everybody. Yesterday afternoon, this country was reminded of the heightened and dynamic threat environment the United States Secret Service and its protectees face on a
Notice, and I understand it, and I get it, because we need to appreciate our first responders. I appreciate the Secret Service. When we talk about the FBI and the Secret Service and all that, we're not talking about everybody. We're mainly talking about the people at the top, the woke individuals who are career politicians, not the people on the ground. But he should have led with, and it's okay, he should have led. I want to start by saying we are so thankful that the former president was not hit for the second time.
That would have been a good opener.
Now, I know he says something like that, and he talks about Trump as he's talked to him, but he led with, I appreciate the fact he's appreciating his guys, but right off the bat saying, don't even come at a question with me that we dropped the ball on.
daily basis. Immediately following the assassination attempt of former President Donald J. Trump on July 13th, the Secret Service moved to increase assets to an already enhanced security posture for the former president. In the days that followed, President Biden made it clear that he wanted the highest levels of protection for former President Trump and for Vice President Harris.
Nice little plug there for Biden and Harris.
The Secret Service moved to sustain increases in assets and the level of protection sought. And those things were in place yesterday. At approximately 1:30 p.m.,
Why is he not speaking from his heart? I get that you want to make sure you make your points, but when you're talking about trying to address the country, when you have a potential of the second time in 2 months, why are you not looking us in the face?
Yes.
former President Trump was playing golf during an off-the-record movement to the Trump International Golf Course. A Secret Service advance agent supporting the front edge of the agency's layered approach to protection encountered an individual attempting to secrete himself in the woodline. This happened, the alleged gunman was on the public side of the fence near the 6th green. Now,
I want everybody to understand that point. He was not on the golf course. He walked through the woods on the outside of the property and was on the other side of the fence.
Layered approach of security is integral to the Secret Service's protective methodologies, and it's also the key to our success. As former President Trump was moving through the 5th fairway across the course and out of sight of the 6th green, the agent, who was visually sweeping the area of the 6th green, saw the subject armed with what he perceived to be a rifle and immediately discharged his firearm. The subject, who did not have line of sight to the former president, fled the scene. He did not fire or get off any shots at our agent. With reports of gunfire, the former president's close protection detail immediately evacuated the president to a safe location. The protective methodologies of the Secret Service were effective yesterday. The former president's protective apparatus allowed for the early identification of the threat and led to a safe evacuation. The increased assets directed by President Biden were in place yesterday. These included the counter-sniper team elements, counter-surveillance counter-surveillance agents on the exterior. Counter-assault teams partnered with local tactical assets from the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office and counter-unmanned aerial system elements. All of these entities were present yesterday. And while all of these assets were in place, as I've said publicly, we must satisfy the basic requirements of the Secret Service's protective methodologies. In partnership with local law enforcement, we did just that. And the agents' hypervigilance and the
All right, so it goes on, and then he makes a couple more points, but I want to show you the end right here. And this guy right here, they take a few questions.
Thank you.
All right. Anyhow, nope, that's it. We're not gonna do any more. All right, you got a lot of information there. The last thing I will tell you is, like the director of the Secret Service says, you know, the president called me last night, President Trump. He thanked me for everything that we did along with the Secret Service. He knows we work great together, and he feels safe. That's important.
Well, I'm glad that he feels safe. Because I'm going to be honest with you, if I was him right now, I wouldn't be feeling too safe. No. I'm just going to be real with you. I'm glad that he told him I'm feeling safe, but if I'm Donald Trump and I'm a billionaire, and I know he done lost a lot of his money, he done lost a lot of his money, and he's never taken a salary. The 4 years he was president, he never took his salary, donated to charity. But whatever money he's got left, he's still a billionaire. I'd be like, Secret Service, I'll take y'all's group that y'all got, but I want y'all to know I'm adding my own people. I mean, wouldn't you?
Yes.
I would. I'd be getting my own
I definitely
security.
would. If I was in his position, I would absolutely do that.
You got 50 days. 50 days. Y'all think you think, well, it's only 50 days. That'll be good. What if we had happen in 2 months?
Exactly.
I mean, let's not just forget that we've not only had 2 attempts on his life in 2 months. We've had a sitting president resign, another person who never received a vote become the nominee,
Exactly.
and go from 16 points down to 7 points ahead
Yes.
in a lot of these polls. Of course, we don't believe the polls, but that's all happened in 2 months.
Right. Now, Biden resigned from the campaign for running for president again, but he is still the president, even though nobody knows where he is, and we rarely see or hear from him, which is astounding.
Do you know he came out this week at some little rally, and guess what he did? He put on a MAGA hat. I thought somebody used ChatGPT to do that. I was like, he did not do that. And all the people that stand around him, thank you for that super chat.
Thank you, Lila.
Lila, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Why didn't that show up on my screen? No, I'm mad about that. It's supposed to show me. But these people had shirts on them, mocking him, but it's pro-Trump. And who knows why he did it? He put it on and took a picture with it.
I did not understand. I just saw that quick video clip.
And you really want me to blow your mind? He kept the hat, and when he was getting on Air Force One, he had it in his hand. Did somebody not think, we need to get that hat away from him? This is not a good optic. That's our president.
No. More craziness. More craziness.
Well, Kamala Harris came out not long after the second attempt on Donald Trump, and this was her tweet. It was something like, and I think I might have it in this article here, where she said, shots were fired near Trump, and we're glad that he's okay. This was when they were already reporting that he was the intended target. She didn't even say an attempted assassination, but then she came back and fixed it. Vice President Kamala Harris said in a statement earlier Monday morning that she is deeply disturbed by the possible assassination attempt. So this is her latest one. I'm deeply disturbed by the possible assassination attempt of former President Trump today. As we gather the facts, I will be clear. I condemn political and violence. We must do our part to ensure the incident does not lead to more violence, and then there's a statement. But I believe down here it has, at least it refers to it, I think right here, that says, says the statement was a follow-up to an earlier one, the first one, that she posted that did not mention an assassination attempt. It simply mentioned, quote, reports of gunshots fired near former President Trump and his property in Florida. She did add in her earlier post as well, I'm glad he's safe. Violence has no place in America. So, they don't want this narrative. They don't want it because when it happened the first time, his poll numbers went up. And because I'm just telling you, I don't care if you hate him. If you hate him and you have any kind of sanity left inside of you, you have to look at this man now and say, maybe you're never going to vote for him, but you have to say, okay, what are we not being told? There is something about this man that the powers that be do not want this man in office. It is becoming glaringly obvious that people are scared to death of what is going to happen in the 4 years that he might be president.
Okay, so, the thinking person, that makes you want to say, what lengths will they go to ensure what might be about to happen next?
Yeah. But it's not just these lone crazy gunmen. Sandy, it slipped through the news and not many people even talking about it. There was a Pakistani man that pleads not guilty and stood before court, and they have documents showing that he had plotted to also take out Donald Trump. A Pakistani man with alleged ties to Iran pleaded not guilty on Monday to charges stemming from an alleged plot to assassinate an American politician in retaliation for the killing of Iran's Revolutionary Guard's top commander, Soleimani. He goes on to say that he entered this plea, and somewhere down in this article, it says that he has openly stated, if I can, there it is, court papers do not name the alleged targets, and no targets was made, as President Trump had in 2020 approved the strike. But at some point, somebody's article I saw, I don't think it's in this one, said that he had posted something in the past that his target, if he ever had a target, was going to be President Trump.
Well, I know they were going to be talking about this on Fox News today, but I didn't get to stick around for the story. Do you think that they reported any more than this article did?
I have no idea. I've not watched the news, so I don't know.
Be curious to know if they're saying more than they're saying in this article.
Yeah.
Because it was a breaking news that was about to come on, and I had to leave. So.
Yeah. Well, the rest of the world's still on fire. Let's not forget that.
Yeah.
NATO admiral backs Ukraine long-range missile strikes on Russia. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the element that Putin said, if you do this, understand that NATO nations are bound to go to war with us. And I want to remind you that we have nuclear weapons. This is what Putin said. The head of NATO's military committee said Saturday that Ukraine has the solid legal and military right to strike deep inside Russia to gain combat advantage, reflecting the beliefs of a number of U.S. allies, even as the Biden administration balks at allowing Kyiv to do so using American-made weapons. Every nation that is attacked has the right to defend itself, and that right doesn't stop at the border of your own nation, said Admiral Rob Bauer, speaking at the close of the committee's annual meeting, also attended by U.S. General C.K. Brown, chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. Bauer of the Netherlands also added that nations have the sovereign right to put limits on the weapons they send to Ukraine, but standing next to him at a press briefing, Lieutenant General Karol Reka, chief of the General Staff of the Czech Army Forces, made it clear his nation places no such weapons restrictions on Kiev. We believe that the Ukrainians should decide for themselves how to use the weapons. Now, here's my question on this, and I got a couple more articles on this to delve into the potential of World War III, is this. Why did it take all these years that Ukraine has been fighting Russia for all the world to all of a sudden say, now you can go attack Russia inside Russia? It is because it is almost the election. Ooh. We tried to tell you this was coming. We tried to tell you, not just us, the many voices out here, well, yes. few voices, not many, few voices like us have been telling you. Last year, we started telling you, when you get into the summer and into the fall, have we not?
Oh,
You're going to see escalation in Ukraine like nothing you've ever seen. You're going to see China move on Taiwan. This
Yes.
is still coming when it comes to China.
Right.
So now, all of a sudden, we have been funding a defensive war in Ukraine.
Yes.
And right before the election, we have a president who is not even the president, but our country, under whoever is the president, it's not Kamala Harris, whoever is running this country is deciding at the last minute, we need to put America and NATO and authorize and bring us into this full-fledged war with Russia. And I think Putin knows that. Come on now.
Scary to even think about. Hey, Cheryl, thank you for your kind words. Yes, all of this is heating up and escalating. This one thing is bad enough. Putin has sent message after message, warning after warning, and it's not just the European nations. We continue to do dumb things to aggravate him, to
And it's not like, we should all just be scared to death of Putin and
No.
Putin runs the world. Putin don't run the world, but let's not forget, this is a war between Russia and Ukraine. Supposed to be. But we have hundreds of billions of dollars combined with us and other countries have gone into this country. And then we were funding retirement plans. I mean, we covered all this.
keeping small businesses open. Are you kidding me?
And then all of a sudden we now say, oh, what we really meant for you to do is to take that money and fire into Russia and provoking Russia to use the threat of nuclear weapons. Now watch what happened here. This is from the People's Voice here. Russian intelligence claims Ukraine is planning an inhumane false flag attack. Ukraine is preparing a false flag operation in which a children's hospital or kindergarten could be hit by an alleged Russian missile strike, according to Russia's Foreign Intelligence Service. Take it with a grain of salt, not saying if they're reporting it, there's any truth to it, but this is what they're saying, and the news is covering it. In a statement on Monday, the SVR claimed that the, quote, inhumane provocation is being masterminded by the leaders of the Ukrainian intelligence and the military at the advice of U.S. handlers. Their goal is to cause a large number of casualties and publicize the event through the international media. RT reports Kiev hopes that its plot will help justify long-range strikes using Western weapons deep inside Russia. The SVR believes the U.S. would then use the incident to ramp up pressure on Iran and North Korea for supposedly providing ballistic missiles to Russia. On July 8th, Kiev accused Moscow of deliberately targeting the Akbed Children's Hospital in central Kiev during a large-scale missile barrage. Interior Minister reported that the 2 adults were killed in the incident and 32 people and children were injured. Moscow denied the Ukrainian allegations, reiterating that it never targets civilian facilities. The Russian military suggested the Ukrainian air defense operators were to blame. Kremlin spokesman Peskov said at the time that Kiev was using the tragedy to hype up the participation of Ukrainian leader Vladimir Zelensky at the NATO summit in the U.S. He pointed to a pattern of high-profile incidents similar to the bombing occurring before Zelensky's meeting with senior foreign officials. Now, I understand this is Russia, and Russia is known for massive disinformation.
Sure.
But I'm going to tell you something else. Do not believe for a minute that Ukraine is this wholesome country.
No.
Ukraine is one of the most corrupt countries in the world. So I don't know who to believe, not to mention the fact that I don't know how to believe our own government. So who's telling the truth here?
Wow. That was a great synopsis. You did good.
Thank you.
And all true.
Thank you.
All very true. Woo.
Come on, go ahead and say what's on your mind.
Really proud of you, babe.
There's something on your mind, I can tell.
No, I'm just processing all of this, how messed up this is. And you really can't even trust your own government.
No, you can't.
Hate that.
Oh, my goodness. Well, you sent this to me right before we went on the air. I had not prepared this, and you said one of our friends sent it to you. This is alarming because this is our own country here in America.
Right.
The headline is, never been this many military aircraft in flight over the USA. Now, many of you know you can just about track almost any plane that's out there. I'm sure there are many that you can't, but most of them you can't. But this is from the Hal Turner radio show website. It's September 16th, 2:57 Eastern, so that was earlier today, there are literally hundreds of military aircraft flying all over the continental U.S. The image above from ADS-B Exchange shows only military aircraft. He goes on to say, I'm 62 years old, and I have never seen this many military in the air in my entire life. Those of you who think the likelihood of World War III is a nothing burger, or that folks like me who point out where we are heading right into World War III somehow makes me Chicken Little, the sky is falling, would do well to wake up and see what is actually taking place. The U.S., EU, and NATO continue escalating the Russia-Ukraine conflict to the point where Russia has the United Kingdom surrounded, right now, this is a fact, by nuclear submarines, awaiting order to attack if needed. At least 11 Russian submarines are off the U.S. East Coast, as many as 9 nuclear-powered cruise missile submarines and 21 diesel-electric attack submarines are off our West Coast.
We have talked about that weeks ago.
Yes, from Alaska down to San Diego, California.
There you go.
Several more subs are near the Gulf of Mexico. Anyone who thinks this is a joke or just posturing is either in emotional denial or simply a fool. Our meddling in Ukraine has cost the Russians over 500,000 men. Our intention to allow Ukraine to attack Russia with our long-range missiles, which need our satellites to operate, has gotten us to the point where the Russians openly warned last week that they will consider such an attack by Ukraine to be an attack by NATO. Then there's the whole Israel-Iran debacle. The Israelis went and blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to read all that because I don't agree with some of the things he says there. But Russia, Ukraine, Iran, Israel, China, Taiwan, then what? North Korea, South Korea. Let's go back. He says, I'm not a religious man. Well, you know what you need to be? You need to be one, buddy.
Yeah. He does go on to say, get right with God.
You need to get right with God. All right, so let's look at this. This was today. Look at our state. Why is our state completely covered up with military aircraft? I just noticed that. California and us in Mississippi and Georgia. What's going on in our state?
I'm looking down here at this larger screen, and that is quite disturbing.
That's us. Okay. All right. Maybe is it the big picture? Is word got out? We need to watch that Larry and Sandy. That Larry and Sandy, boy, they're doing something down there. They're doing something down there. You better watch old Larry and Sandy.
That's what it is. Words got out.
Well, let's talk about the Israeli war real quick. We can't forget about that. The Houthis now are firing hypersonic missiles. Where are they getting them? Come on. we know that only Russia, China, and I think Israel have them. I find this hard to believe, but they say that America still does not either have them or the ability to bring them down.
What about Iran? And
Iran does. Iran does as well. So they've probably got it from Iran. Houthis say new hypersonic ballistic missile launched at Israel. Vows more attacks. Yemen's Houthis claim responsibility for the attack that reached central Israel for the first time on Sunday, saying the group employed a new hypersonic ballistic missile in a specific military operation targeting the Tel Aviv area. In a statement from the group's military spokesman, the Iranian proxy falsely added that Israel had failed to intercept the missile, while the IDF's Arrow system failed to bring the missile down before entering Israel airspace. It did ultimately intercept it. So here's what's wild. It crossed a distance of 2,040 kilometers in 11 and a half minutes and caused a state of fear and panic among the Zionists as more than 2 million Zionists headed to shelters for the first time in the history of the Israeli enemy. Wow. So you now have them, they were firing at ships. Yeah. Now they have supersonic, hypersonic missiles that are going deep into, and they're not a neighboring country. That's what's amazing, is that these are so fast that very few things can bring them down. That's a big deal.
Yes.
That is a big, big deal in the escalation of the war. And from the last reports, Sandy, in the Israeli-Hamas war is that they are thinking that they finally are winding down with Hamas, and they're getting ready now to launch into Lebanon and many others. So I don't think the war in Israel is winding down anytime soon.
I don't think so at all.
And look for an October surprise to happen in that, because remember we reported here that for the first time in modern history, we don't really have much military personnel at all in the China Sea. We've taken them all to the Middle East. So almost all of our naval fleet outside of America, where it's stationed in America, are outside of the Middle East. So what are they thinking is coming?
Whew.
Say, let's take a real quick moment here and let's do about 2 or 3 minutes here. Update on your dad of what's going on in your life, and because people, this is our big picture family. They've been praying for you, and then we'll get right back into the news.
Again, I want to thank everybody for their prayers. We've absolutely been feeling them. I've been leaning on those prayers very heavily. I came over here to do the show tonight, and I'll be quickly going back to my dad's house. I've been there. I haven't been home since sometime on Thursday, so me and my brother and other family members have, me and my brother stay there. We've been there nonstop since Thursday, except for leaving for short periods of time to take care of things and getting right back. It is very serious with my dad. We're down to the final days. He, all he can do is lay there and rest right now. He can respond to simple questions or, requests. We try to ask him if he wants to drink something, if he needs his pain medicine. As sad as it is, I am happy that his pain is almost over.
Yes.
And I'm going to try to stop to not cry right here. I know he's ready. He has told us multiple times he is ready to go, and he does not want to continue to stay here in this condition. I just love my dad, and I admire his strength, his grace.
Amazing man.
He is still the sweetheart he's always been, even in these final days of his life. So I love you, Big Picture family. I thank you for all that you've done for us. And I love the spirit of everybody on this channel. You guys, it's not just me.
Yeah.
I know that you are praying for each other.
Yes.
Continue to let us know about your prayer requests so that we can pray for each other, because there is a lot of sickness. There is a lot of pain out there.
Yes.
And we need to be there for each other.
And more coming in the coming months more than ever. We're going to need to come together like never before, because this is just beginning.
Yes.
I mean, and even after the election, y'all, it's not going to slow down no matter who wins. It's going to get crazier and crazier. That's right. And that's why I believe that there's no better family on YouTube or Rumble or wherever than the Big Picture family.
Amen.
And we appreciate all of our partners. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Watch this right here.
Would you like to help us build the Big Picture family? We're on a mission to wake up the world to what is really going on. All you have to do is go to our website at larryragland.com and make a one-time gift, or you can become a monthly partner. Any amount is a blessing and an encouragement to us. While you're there, make sure you get a copy of our book, I See Greatness in You. Browse our merchandise store, connect with us on our social media links, and join our mailing list. We appreciate it. And remember, we ain't woke, but we are certainly awake.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. And we are awake, and we got to go right back into the news, because that's why we're here.
Yes, it is.
So, have y'all seen the song about the cats and the dogs with Donald Trump? That's all I'm going to say. Go find it. Y'all, somebody remixed what he said in the debate about they're eating the dogs and the cats up in here. And people are like, hide your dogs, hide your cats, eating all. Okay, I'm going to say no more. But Springfield, Ohio has become the epicenter.
Battleground.
The battleground, if you will. FBI goes to Springfield, Ohio. And by the way, if you're watching from Springfield, Ohio, comment and let us know the truth. Tell us the truth.
We would love to hear from you.
Yeah, we're seeing videos like crazy, and of people that supposedly live there saying they are doing this. The geese, the ducks, and the parks. One guy said the geese and the ducks are effectively gone. They're gone from our parks. Our kids used to go there and love to watch them. They're gone. They either all become dinner or they all got scared and said, we got to find somewhere else.
That is crazy to hear.
Yeah. FBI goes to Springfield, Ohio to deal with the Haitian problem. Well, that's good news, right? To go deal with the Haitian problem. Well, exactly. They're actually there to deal with Americans.
Wow.
Time says time was that the FBI was the preeminent law enforcement agency around the country, if not the world. However, the agency has become a laughingstock under blah 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 blah. But here's what I want to show you down here. I think this article, yeah. It says the FBI is putting up billboards written in Haitian Creole in Springfield, Ohio, encouraging people to report hate crimes. This author, in his opinion, goes on to say this is insane. And instead of handling with the real violent crime that is now running rampant in Springfield, thanks to the illegals coming across the border, the FBI is focusing on victimizing the Haitian population in order to push a narrative. So, yeah, I had another article that had a picture of the billboard. But so they're converging on Springfield
Right.
to make sure that they take care of Americans and make sure Americans keep their mouths shut about people living in their front yard, trashing their front yards. People are afraid to go outside now.
This is terrible. These
they
older
can't talk about
people,
it.
these retirees, they just want to live in peace, but they're scared to go outside their homes.
Yeah. Well, didn't we see that video that one lady
Yes.
said, I can't go outside my house because in my front yard, they're camping in my front yard. They're throwing trash in my front yard.
They're screaming at me in a
Yeah.
language I can't understand.
Throwing
They're
things at
threatening
us.
me. I don't have any protections. Who's going to protect me? Who's
Yeah.
protecting the citizens?
Yeah. This is the invasion that we were talking about. This is the invasion. And people don't like it with President Trump. You like him or love him or hate him, whatever. But when he states things like this, he's just raw. He just said, look, crime is down all around the world except here. Because they're emptying the prisons and sending the prisoners here.
Yeah. Yeah, he said that.
And people tried to fact check him, but guess what? Fact check, he's right. Well, thank you, End Time Headlines, Ricky Scaparo, great friend of ours and frequent guest here on The Big Picture. He says India, China, Russia plan to jointly build massive nuclear power plant on the moon.
Of course.
What? India, China, and Russia. Is that all part of BRICS? Is that what BRICS is going to do, is build something on the moon? Russia and China are collaborating to develop a nuclear power plant to support future lunar settlements. A recent report from the Russian news agency has ignited interest with indications that India may be considering joining the project. The project, spearheaded by Rosatom, Russia's state nuclear corporation, seeks to install a compact nuclear reactor on the moon with the capacity to produce up to 0.5 megawatt of power. Sandy, I don't want to read the rest of this article. I just want to ask a question. What could go wrong?
Could possibly go wrong.
I mean, you look up there and all of a sudden, hey, why is there a new crater on the moon?
How about that? Well, China's firing up a new sun or something, aren't they?
They are. They are.
Yeah, what could possibly go wrong with that, too?
Yeah, and there's so much that's going through my mind right now, y'all.
There's so much going through my mind right now.
Well, look, we need what's in your mind to come out.
I'm not sure.
Inquiring minds want to know what's in the mind of the queen. Well, okay. So what have y'all heard anything about people talking about this Project 2025? I mean, come on. I'm just sick of hearing about it. And by the way, I've not read it. I saw somebody holding it up. It's like a gigantic, it's like War and Peace. It's so big. It's a massive book. But it's been around for several years. And all of a sudden they just decided they're going to make it like it just came out.
Okay, well, didn't Trump rebuff or rebuke
Oh, yeah, yeah.
during the debate?
During
he
the
said
debate.
he had no idea what it was. He's not involved in it, blah, blah, blah. I don't really know what it is.
Well, a lot of things in it are very conservative, and a lot of things I agree with. But he's just distancing himself from it because of the abortion issue and all of that. But I like this article here on Just the News. It says, this is something that we talk a lot about on this show, and I'm glad to see some mainline media doing this. While media focuses on Project 2025, concerns grow over the United Nations 2030 agenda, transforming our world. He's just reminding us. This is published by John McGillen of Just the News. While many American journalists and Democrats remain obsessed with Project 2025, the conservative blueprint for a Republican White House, world leaders, including Democratic President Joe Biden, are now increasingly focused. Did we not tell you this was coming? How many things have we got right so far? We have nailed so many on this show. We've been trying to tell you, don't forget about Agenda 2030.
Exactly.
Have I not?
Yes.
It says, are increasingly focused on Project 2030, the United Nations program officially known as, quote, Transforming Our World, the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. Leading this movement, as initially reported by the writer Tim Hinchcliffe, is UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres.
You got it.
Boom!
Yay!
Who has called for a sweeping overhaul of the United Nations Security Council and global financial system. The initiative presented under the pretense of accelerating Agenda 2030 Sustainable Development Goals is being marketed as a noble effort to combat poverty, inequality, and climate change. Yet beneath the rhetoric lies perhaps a more concerning agenda that could compromise national sovereignty and individual freedoms under the guise of global progress. So basically, it goes on to say that it comprises 11 policy proposals, including the creation of a United Nations Global Digital Compact, as well as initiative focusing on youth engagement, outer space, and the management of various information channels. Perhaps one of the most troubling aspects of the pact is the proposed emergency platform. The platform, if enacted, would give the United Nations Secretary General the authority to declare and manage global emergencies, effectively granting one individual sweeping powers over the international community during a future crisis, real or perceived. The microphone is yours.
Yeah. This is full of so many terrible things. I don't know if this is the worst one of them. It seems like it is, but there's so much bad stuff. But this, giving them powers, you're talking about over the whole earth, right?
The whole earth.
And not only to, demand, to make mandates, to tell us what to do, to govern, but to take assets. Was this not a part of that? You
Yes.
take assets from one country and give them to another country
Yes.
if they're in more need, or if they just decide that this needs to be done. This is scary. Overreach.
Yeah, you take the United Nations, and you're also we're merging both of them, but you're also talking about the World Health Organization's pandemic treaty.
Yes.
So when you talk about the pandemic treaty, and then you talk about Agenda 2030, and you put both of them together, and they're trying to push both of them at the same exact time, that is your one world government
It is.
that preachers have talked about in the end times for many years. There it is. That's a one world government. And by the way, I believe that was the goal of the United Nations from the very beginning. I mean, you just think about it, in the name, United Nations, their desire was, because they play the long game. They knew that they couldn't do that. And that's the way communists and Marxists are as well. They infiltrate, they play the long game, they play generational. They realize, okay, I might not get to experience this, but my grandchildren are going to
Yes.
influence a Marxist agenda. So this global agenda is coming to a head. And we've said it before on here, and we'll say it again. They are ramping up. I'm talking about, watch out. You're going to see a lot of this implemented
Yes.
between now and November, and certainly between now and January if he wins. If he wins, let me tell you something. Hear me. Mark my words. I say this a lot on here. Mark my words. If Donald Trump wins the presidency from November or whenever they declare him to be president till January 20th, that's when you need to see what's really going to happen. Because he's not effectively the president yet. But they know at that point he is coming. So what is going to happen to him? What is going to happen to the world? What is going to happen to all of these conflicts? If they know they've got from November, December,
Right.
and a little bit of January, and the man that the whole world has tried to stop is coming, what in the world's going to happen then?
Oh, is this the part where I give my opinion?
Yes, it is.
Get ready for the aliens. The UFOs are coming.
Nailed it.
Right?
Yeah.
After everything,
you're right.
After we've played
Good,
every
great point.
card, right?
Yep.
World War III. If not World War III, then certainly serious skirmishes or whatever breaking out all over
Yep.
the economy, our presidential election, worrying about another pandemic. Can I go on and on? if all of these things are not working, they will not hesitate to play the alien card.
Yep.
Whether real
That's right.
or Project Bluebeam,
Yep.
I don't know. I don't know that it matters as long as you're convinced that they're here.
Exactly. Yep, because one of the things they're going to do is they've always been talking about disclosure, but now we're going to need a savior. We're going to need a savior.
Certainly.
Now we already got a savior. We know who our savior is.
Yes, we
Come
do.
Come on, Jesus. We know who our savior is. The way, the truth, and the life. No man comes to the Father except by Him. But I'm going to show you something about the Pope right now.
Ooh.
In just a few minutes.
Okay.
That is taking it to another level of understanding where we are in the timeline. But I agree with you. I think the disclosure, the alien disclosure is.
So you agree with me?
I do agree.
You think if they throw everything and the
They ain't got
kitchen
nothing left.
and the kitchen sink at this, it's time.
They ain't got nothing left. But aliens. I mean, I'm not trying to say it's aliens. But it's aliens. I need one of them wigs. I need to get a wig of that spike-haired dude that's on Ancient Aliens. Ain't that the show he's on? He's always like, look, now listen to me.
Giorgio.
I'm not saying it's aliens. But it's aliens. Y'all seen the meme. Can somebody send me a link how I can find me some hair like
Giorgio
that?
Tsoukalos.
What is his name?
Giorgio Tsoukalos.
Okay, I would have never been able to say that. All right, so so look, they're already getting us ready. The New York Times is now running a headline: election results. Go ahead and let you know, could take a while. New York Times promises another red mirage. Remember when we got the red wave and it didn't turn out to be? So Americans won't know the results of this year's election on election night, according to the New York Times. For the second straight presidential election, it's becoming increasingly likely that there will be no clear and immediate winner on election night. Why? When did this end? We used to go to bed on election night every year, every time knowing who's president. Right. It's becoming increasingly likely there will be no clear and immediate winner on election night, and that early returns could give a false impression of who will ultimately prevail. What are they trying to tell us? Is that not what just happened 4 years ago? Large swaths of Americans have changed their voting habits in recent years, relying increasingly on mail-in ballots, which take more time to count than those cast in person on Election Day. States with prolonged vote counting processes, such as Arizona, have become suddenly competitive, and the race between Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald J. Trump appears extremely close. The author assures readers that, quote, if a winner is not declared on election night, it will not necessarily point to failures in the process, just so you know. More likely, it will be a result in the intense scrutiny measures required.
Security measures.
Security measures required for counting mail-in ballots. So in other words,
cutoff. There's a cutoff.
It's supposed to be.
So that it allows them time to get the votes counted.
It's supposed to be. But it's not in some states. The article goes on to describe how election officials are already doing their best to prepare voters to wait days for the result. In large part, this is being done to, quote, counter conspiracy theorists who may seize on the uncertainty as evidence of fraud or malfeasance. Once again, America could see a red mirage, the article predicts, as initial exit polls skew heavily towards the Republican candidates because of in-person voting, only for the Democratic candidate to win once the mail-in votes are counted. So, Sandy, they're already saying it out loud.
Yeah.
Telling us that.
Well, it's like a little predictive programming here. We're going to go ahead and set this up.
Yep.
Got another safety net here.
I mean, are we going to see busted water lines? Remember that one in Georgia?
All right.
All of a sudden, the water line's busted. Yeah. Now let's shift gears here because I think people's had enough of this. But this next.
I have. Are we taking a vote? Me.
Me too. I'm the one driving this ship, and I've already, you've seen me. I've already eliminated like 5 or 6 articles while I'm talking. I was like, I don't even want to deal with that anymore. But So we talked about this the other night at your dad's. We were sitting around, all the
Yes.
family sitting around, and I said, have y'all heard about this?
Everybody listen.
It was like, this is not real. People didn't believe this was real. Ladies and gentlemen, this is real. I don't know if you've heard about this couple that went to Disney World, and they were eating at a restaurant there in Disney World, and sadly, the wife had an allergic reaction to some kind of food that was not disclosed, and she did not make it. She passed away. So the husband then sued Disney to say, you should have disclosed this that was in there. I forgot what it was. Maybe this article tells me. But ladies and gentlemen, out of this lawsuit became a revelation that none of us knew we had all signed up for, if you've ever gone this route. Signing up for Disney Plus, and by the way, we've canceled ours when all this stuff happened with the woke stuff happened, but many of you have signed up for Disney Plus when they first came out. Signing up for Disney Plus means you cannot sue us for anything, is what Disney says. Now watch this. A man is suing Disney after his wife died of an allergic reaction at a Disney park. The company argues that the arbitration clause in the Disney Plus terms means he has no case. Now, Disney is claiming a lawsuit against the company over the death of a woman, blah, blah, blah. And says they touted because the woman's husband signed up for a 1 month trial. 1 month trial of Disney Plus. Yes, you read that right. New York Times reports that she died from an allergic reaction after dining at Disney Springs restaurant in October. He had stressed to the wait staff she had a nut and dairy allergy, but shortly after departing the restaurant, she experienced difficulty breathing and collapsed. Despite being administered an EpiPen, she later died at the local hospital. Her husband is seeking $50,000 in damages under Florida's Wrongful Death Act, as well as money for mental pain and suffering, loss of income, and funeral expenses. But 1 month. Now, I see that there's an update. I've not seen it. The update Disney has apparently realized its legal strategy was in poor taste. It tells The Verge, the name of this article, that it will take a sensitive approach in this case. That doesn't mean paying up, however. Instead, it will waive our right to arbitration and have the matter proceed in court. Well, that's a case-by-case thing. But who knew that nobody reads the terms?
Right.
I mean, they're like pages and pages. Nobody reads them, and you're ready to just watch the movie. So apparently what they were saying was when they were in court, the attorney stood up and said, you can't do this because you have agreed to never sue us. And this man said, I've never agreed to anything like that to you. And then they entered into evidence, Sandy, evidence of a 1 month free trial that when he put his email in and signed up, he agreed to never sue them.
That is sneaky. That is low.
I mean, let me know in the comment section what you think about it. And also, let me know in the live chat, especially the comment section, if you knew about this. Did you know this? And if it's that way with Disney Plus, what else is it that way with? I mean, is it that way?
I know. You pose a great question. Makes you want to get out those agreements to everything and try to read every word.
Think about if you got the Chick-fil-A app, if you got the Burger King app, if you got the Target app, if you got the Walmart app. Did you already agree that if you, by signing up for Walmart, did you agree that if you slip and fall on water that they didn't clean up, that you've done away with your right? We need to know this.
We do. Yep. Very good question.
Well, have you seen the prices of cars lately?
Yeah.
They're astronomical. Well, you know what's been happening on some of these shows like Disney Plus, Amazon, and all this? People for so long have paid subscription prices. Now you got to pay a higher price to not have ads because everything is so expensive now. Now they're putting ads even in the things that you're paying for,
Right.
and you got to go up another tier. Well, guess what Ford just did? Ford just filed a patent for in-car ads based on in-car conversations.
Yeah.
This is where our world is going.
If you had any question or any doubt that they were listening to you in your car, hello.
Ford Motor Company recently filed a patent that allows for in-vehicle advertising. that are curated by the car, listening to conversation by of the driver and passengers. They even drew out, in the patent application there, that while you're driving down the road, there'll be an ad pop up on your dash. What in the world? Ford would also assess cab members who interact with advertisements, along with monitoring acoustic information, such as tracking in-car conversations to help it, quote, understand the user's tolerance for a particular advertiser's count. If there is silence in the vehicle, the dash might play an audio ad to kill the silence. What?
If you wanted to drive to work
In silence?
in silence, all of a sudden they start playing ads.
Dave, I've noticed that you're quiet today.
Exactly. There you go.
Dave, I've noticed. Is there anything wrong, Dave? Maybe you need to see a video of a milkshake.
Mm-hmm.
Dave, does this milkshake make you
Let
happy?
us just draw your attention right here.
Speak to me, Dave. I'm used to you complaining about your job. I'm used to you shouting at the ceiling, screaming at God because you're mad at him or something. Now you're quiet, Dave. Maybe you need to see this cute little bunny rabbit that you can buy at the local pet store, Dave. Stop talking to me! I can't do that, Dave. You agreed to the terms of agreement. When you bought this Ford, Dave, you agreed that I could talk to you. I'm being funny, but that's what I just read.
I know, it's insane.
That's what this is.
You're an automobile manufacturer. Can you not just sell cars? Do you have to sell us out at every turn?
Good Lord.
Good grief.
Even so, Lord, come quickly. Yes. Well, the number one religion in the world is Christianity, led in part by the fact that grouped in there is the Catholic faith, the largest denomination in the world, led by one man, which we can debate on that all you want to. Of course, it's very clear that I am a Protestant pastor, but I will not bash the Catholic Church. But I will say that I got a serious problem with this Pope. And if you're Catholic, I would hope that you do as well, because not only has he had major things to say about the climate and LGBTQ, but Pope Francis is being slammed by fellow Catholics as now and other religions because he has openly said that all religions are a path to God. All religions. I really had to verify this because I was not going to report this until I verified it, and it is true. During a 3-day visit to Singapore, Pope Francis declared that, quote, all religions are a path to God, sparking backlash across religious leaders in the United States. The statement was made at an interreligious meeting with young people at a Catholic junior college shortly before his departure back to Rome. Departing from his prepared remarks, Francis spoke off the cuff, stating that different religions are like different languages to reach God. If you start the fight, my religion is more important than yours, mine is true and yours isn't, where will that lead us, he asked. This is the Pope talking. There's only one God, and each of us has a language to arrive at God. Some are Sikh, Muslim, Hindu, Christian, and they are different paths to God. Reacting to the pontiff's comments, Bishop John Strickland, who oversaw the Roman Catholic Diocese of Tyler, Texas, until his dismissal by the Vatican last year, said, please pray for Pope Francis to clearly state that Jesus is the only way.
What a threatening statement, right?
Yeah, exactly. To deny this is to deny
triggered.
him.
Hashtag triggered.
Exactly. If we deny Christ, he will deny us. He cannot deny himself. Well, I can't disagree with that bishop, former bishop. But what are your thoughts about the Pope openly saying, we've heard rumors that he felt that way, but now you have the leader of the largest Christian group in the world saying that every other language, every other religion is just a language on its way to God.
Right. Didn't Oprah Winfrey also say that?
Oh, yeah.
A couple of decades ago?
Yeah.
Of course, it is much more disturbing when the Pope says it, but I don't think that the viewers of The Big Picture are surprised to hear that.
No.
But it's terrible nonetheless.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what. Where's my coffee? You didn't bring my coffee?
We're out of wide awake.
No. How am I going to make it to the next
I've
few
been
articles?
a little busy.
Yeah. I get
So
it.
sorry. Haven't been able to go to the store. We will remedy that though.
Now, there's a documentary that is either out or about to come out. Lo and behold, being directed by, created by, and supposedly written by and directed by none other than Bill Gates.
The Bill Gates of hell.
The Bill Gates of hell. Damn. Oh man, the Bill Gates of hell. Okay, so y'all, it's called What's Next. What's Next on Netflix? The future with Bill Gates docuseries demands that we, quote, give up hydrocarbons almost entirely. An upcoming Netflix docuseries from Bill Gates is pushing many of the billionaire's pet causes, including climate doomsaying, with Gates lecturing viewers at one point that, quote, we have to give up hydrocarbons almost entirely. I know I'll get flagged if I play that. I want to play that so bad. But, Netflix will get you in a heartbeat. Maybe I can mute it right when I start it. Then maybe there'll be some. Let's see what we can do here. See if I can do the captions.
Yeah.
All right, so let's read the captions here.
Show about our future.
All right, so I'm gonna go in and out, and maybe I won't get hit.
AI, misinformation,
income inequality,
dealing with infectious disease.
Oh God, there's Ouchie Fauci. Get the music out.
Intelligence impact society. Crafted text to my son.
Oh, this is silly. He's like trying to tell ChatGPT to make him sound cool to his son. All right, so watch this right here. I wanted to show you this one part.
Good enough to build a better AI. So AI builds a better AI, which builds a better, which builds 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 better.
That's how I feel.
Yeah.
It's fiction.
Was that James?
That was James Cameron. He said it's getting harder and harder to write science fiction. And Bill Gates went,
Tom Hanks and Lady Gaga.
We underestimate how creative Americans are.
Bill Gates is part of a reptilian race that includes Tom Hanks and Lady Gaga.
Entertainment and information are a lot closer together than they ever have been before. There's no way to stop it.
I don't have the solution.
Come on, Bill.
So, are they openly mocking what is true? Are they trying to turn the accusations against what everybody says about them to, look, let's embrace it and laugh about it, and then everybody will think that the people that say that are just really conspiracy theorists, but what we're really trying to do is get out in front of the fact that we really are reptiles?
Well, I was certainly thinking that. Yeah, just go ahead and own it, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's like, like they're just laughing. Okay, so they're going to find out one day that we're really reptilians. So we're just going to laugh about it and pretend like it's a joke. Ouchie Fauci is in there as well, talking about the future of infectious diseases. Bono, Lady Gaga. There's a conspiracy about her too.
Did you just say that?
Yeah, I mean, it's got something to do with
being born this way. Is that the one? Is that the one you're talking about?
Oh, yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Okay.
It has something to do with the fact of why she chose to call herself Lady.
I don't know. She said she had the right stuff.
Okay. This is live.
I'm sorry. This is a family show.
This is a family show, and this is live.
Most of the time.
Most of the time, yeah. All right, look, I've had enough. Let's just go ahead and bring him in. I mean, I'm telling you, it's just time. We got to get some relief.
Open the closet doors.
Uncle Jimmy!
And let him out, because it's time for the
Supernatural AI update. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah. Somebody calling us crazy kids. Couple of crazy kids, scripture reference says.
Who said that?
With just a couple, scripture reference. Just a couple of crazy kids.
Oh.
I received that. I'm a 56-year-old kid. I'm still a kid at heart. Well, I can tell you one thing. There's a lot I've learned over my life to never say never.
Really?
But something, because a lot of times I said I'd never do something, I end up doing it. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to emphatically say I am never doing this.
Ever.
Never, ever. New York Post is saying that one day we may all have brain chips to help us remember where our keys are. Boy, there's something I could say right now.
Well, that's all we have, those little nifty.
But you have to know where they're at. But Sandy, I'll be honest with you. You may need this.
What?
Because how many times?
Stop telling people
many times
my stuff.
have I heard? Have you seen my keys? Or have you seen my phone? Have you seen?
It's a lot.
So, Sandy, I will not let you get this, even though this would probably be
like
very...
you think I'm going to be tempted?
I mean, I will guard you because I will guard against this because it's going to make sense for you, but I'm not going to let you do it. One day because it's just what it says about keys.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so look. Michael Kahana, a University of Pennsylvania psychologist, has been studying memory for over 30 years, how it works and what's going on when it doesn't. He's just fascinated with memory loss caused by traumatic brain injury, which affects more than 5 million people in this country of the nearly 7 million Americans with Alzheimer's. His research is also focused on the memory lapses that impact everyone regardless of their cognitive health. It goes on and on and on and on and on. He says in his investigation into memory culminated with a landmark study published January, in which he and his team and researchers said computer interventions on a couple of 47 epilepsy patients delivering a pulse of electricity. And look, this is very nice what they're saying, and it's very I love what they're doing. But the article is not about helping epileptic people. The article is about the good that it's doing there.
Right. Is that a hook? Is that what you're saying?
Is a hook to say that, look, these
Soften us up.
It's just like Elon Musk is genuinely helping people with his Neuralink. Right. He is causing people who cannot operate a computer to operate a computer by their thoughts. But let's realize that is never where it ends.
No.
That is only where it begins. Everything also always starts off for the good. This is for the better. This is for the better. This is for the good.
Yep.
And it ends up being some crazy mad scientist gets a hold of it and says, now I can control everyone and make them eat the bugs.
Or the military gets a hold of it and weaponizes it against all of us? Is that where you're going with that?
That's even more likely that the military would get a hold of it. But, they're openly saying it. And you and I both say all the time that when they start saying little articles like this and start rolling out articles like this, that, is real vague in what we're talking about right now, but talk about the good things that are happening. This is their way to roll out what they really want to do. They never tell you what they really want to do. They tell you they got a warm and fuzzy story to hook you in. And these are very genuine things. I'm very thankful for these.
And we all like the idea that this could help a quadriplegic.
Yes,
that this could help someone that is incapacitated. I love that. But like you said, it never stops there. There's some kind of evil plot to this story that ends up being a part of the takedown of the entire world.
What a great introduction and segue to the next article. Are New World Order elites plotting to use AI to deprogram so-called conspiracy theories?
What? Hang on.
Yep.
Hang on.
Here we go.
Hang on.
There, she's got it out.
You'll not get to me. I'll be safe in this work of art right here. This masterpiece.
Is that an antenna?
I'm not exactly. I think so.
Okay.
I was gifted this.
Oh, who made that? I thought you made it.
Well, actually, the children at the church.
What? Okay.
Anyway.
We are not programming our children at church to be conspiracy theorists.
No, they were trying to offer me some protection. So they made that.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyway.
Okay, so Jacob Bruns of Headline USA is writing this. Maybe the New World Order used biased, pre-manipulated artificial intelligence programs to try to deprogram those with unpopular opinions by persuading them that their logic does not compute. A recent study on that subject, underwritten by the John Templeton Foundation, might give so-called conspiracy theorists one more thing to be paranoid about, according to Popular Science, very well-known mainstream magazine and online. Critics have already sounded the alarm that the leftist radicals in Silicon Valley and elsewhere are manipulating the algorithms used to train AI so that it automatically defaults to anti-conservative biases. The next step may be programming any verboten viewpoints into the realm of conspiracy theory. They have powerful computers challenge humans, users, to a battle of logic that inevitably is stacked against them with cherry-picked data. The study titled Durably Reducing Conspiracy Beliefs Through Dialogues with AI attempt to counter the common view that some people will not change their minds, even when presented with facts and evidence. Addressing the problem is widespread belief in unsubstantiated conspiracy theories. Researchers postulated that conspiracy theories can, contrary to scientific narrative, be countered by a way of systematic fact-checking. Do we not see that all the time? Fact-checking.
I think that term was used in the debate last week. Right?
Exactly. Only on one candidate, by the way.
Only on one candidate.
Among those theories tested were more traditional conspiracies, such as those involving the assassination of John F. Kennedy, possibly of alien landings that were known in the United States government. But others included more immediately politicized claims, such as the lawfulness of Wah-Wah lockdowns and the validity of the Wah-Wah election, both of which are a major source of public concern. So basically what they're saying is that for a decade now, they have been using fact checkers.
A decade now.
Yeah, using fact checkers to change people's mindset into thinking, oh, I don't need to believe that because the fact checkers said that's not real. But the truth is, we've seen over and over again, the fact checkers need a fact checker.
Yeah, but I think the more central theme of this article was it not that the conspiracy theorists are just a bunch of crazy people?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. And that they can be changed. That we can be changed. Did I just say we? Did I just fully embrace it? Give me the hat. Give me the hat.
I think we know you done been red pill.
I'm all in. I'm all in.
Look at that.
I'm all in.
You got to slink down in your seat so they can see them better. Like that.
You know, I saw somebody change their profile picture to me in this.
What?
One of our subscribers. I'm their image. I'm like this.
Hey, Ricky, you can see somebody has been red pilled.
What's up, Ricky? What a time.
He's wearing his tinfoil hat, Brother Ricky.
What a time for Ricky to come in. He's like, oh, Lord,
Perfect timing, Brother Ricky.
I need to pray for Larry.
What was that story that he nailed yesterday or the day before?
Oh, he nails every story.
That was some great reporting. I wish I could.
He's always on the top.
He is on the case right here.
Ricky, you laughing at me. I see that laughing emoji. You are laughing at my tinfoil hat. I can't believe that. You and I both know you got one too, Ricky. Just go ahead and admit
He said you look like a Hershey Kiss.
Hey, I can see that. I do look like a Hershey Kiss.
Wow. That's sweet, babe.
Can I get a kiss?
Not even.
It's a perfect setup for I got an actual kiss, but I guess I'm not going to get one. All right, so billionaire Larry Ellison, y'all, is saying some things that are pretty wild. He's saying that a vast AI-fueled surveillance system is going to be used to ensure citizens will be on their best behavior.
Okay, a vast AI
system,
fueled
AI-fueled surveillance system, he proposes, can ensure that citizens are on their best behavior.
What about non-citizens? Because we're not doing anything to make sure they're on good behavior.
No, you didn't. You went there. It says, it says Ellison made the comments, it says, usher in a new era of surveillance that he gleefully said will ensure citizens will be on their best behavior. Ellison made the comments as he spoke to investors earlier this week during an Oracle financial and analyst meeting where he shared his thoughts on the future of AI-powered surveillance tools. He said that AI would be used in the future. He said AI would, not could, would be used in the future to constantly watch and analyze vast surveillance systems like security cameras, police body cameras, doorbell cameras, and the vehicle dashboard cameras. We're going to have supervision, Ellison said. Every police officer is going to be supervised at all times. And if there's a problem, AI will report that problem and report it to the appropriate person. Citizens will be on their best behavior because we are constantly recording and reporting everything that's going on.
Get busy building those hundreds of server farms that we're going to need to store all this information. He is plumb giddy about totally controlling your life, which ought to enrage you. You know what happens next? You know what comes next? Pre-crime. Pre-crime is going to be next.
Minority Report.
Yeah.
Ellison also expects AI drones to replace police cars in high-speed chases. Quote, you're
going to be living in the movies, folks.
This is the movies. I've seen these movies.
Yeah.
You just have a drone follow the car, Ellison said. It's very simple in the age of autonomous drones. He did not say if those drones would broadcast the chases on network news. Yeah, somebody's going to hack it. Ellison's company, Oracle, like almost every company these days, is aggressively pursuing opportunities in the AI industry. It already has several projects in the works, including one in partnership with Elon Musk's SpaceX. Ellison is the world's sixth richest man with a net worth of $157 billion. Mm-hmm. Ellison's children have made names for themselves in the film industry, blah, blah, blah. But I want to go back to this right here where he says, every citizens will be on their best behavior because they know that they're being constantly recorded and reporting everything that's going on.
Right.
Y'all,
so
this is a movie.
This is Mark of the Beast technology.
It
right?
is. It is.
Control system technology.
And they're telling us it's coming.
Thank you, Larry Ellison.
They're literally telling us what we were always talking about ourselves thinking was coming. They're admitting that it is not just could come. No. He said would.
And they're ecstatic about it.
They are ecstatic.
And he's the sixth richest person in the world.
Yeah.
And this is all he wants to do is control your life instead of trying to help some of the pain and suffering that's going on all over the world.
Yep. If you hadn't smashed that like button, can you smash it now?
Yeah, what are you waiting on? I don't even understand this.
Smash it, smash it, smash it. Okay, y'all been waiting for this.
Smash it.
Smash it.
Smash the like button.
Yeah.
Now.
That was good. I like that one.
Thank you.
Yeah, we've done all this all without coffee tonight.
How in the world? We seem giddier than we do when we have coffee.
I don't know. I'm pretty upset right now. I'm ready to go. Is there more?
Yep, we got one more.
Okay.
I got one more thing because I always like to show you what AI can do.
Oh.
And I'm going to do that right after this.
Would you like to help us build the big picture family? We're on a mission to wake up the world to what is really going on. All you have to do is go to our website at LarryRagland.com and make a one-time gift, or you can become a monthly partner. Any amount is a blessing and an encouragement to us. While you're there, make sure you get a copy of our book, I See Greatness in You. Browse our merchandise store, connect with us on our social media links, and join our mailing list. We appreciate it. And remember, we ain't woke, but we are certainly awake.
Yes, we are. We are awake. We are awake. We are awake.
Awake, awake.
And I got to take us back to our AI background. Sorry, I messed it up. So we're back to the AI background. All right. So I always like to show you some of the technology of ChatGPT and some of these others. This is the competitor of ChatGPT called Runway. I want you to look at this. This is called video-to-video technology. I'm going to zoom it in. And basically what it is you just literally do anything and tell it what to turn you into. And in real time, this is in real time. He says, make me a space alien.
I want to be an astronaut.
You want to be an astronaut? Look, he just films it, uploads it, and it turns the whole video without a green screen.
Can I just say again, pre-crime?
That's what this is. Y'all, this is, how are you going to be able, how right now do we know what's real?
Number one, you are obsolete. They don't need you. Number two, if you do bother sticking around, you don't stand a chance without God.
Exactly.
Holy Spirit, right?
Yes.
Holy Spirit, activate. Come on.
Come on, yeah, that's it. Let's do it, baby.
Holy Spirit, activate. Holy Spirit, activate.
If you have not seen that video, you got to see it. Family Feud, Holy Spirit, activate. And there's one more. There's one more from the same company. This right here is even crazier, y'all. This is the same technology, but further illustrates this. Watch this right here. Look, this is just a guy walking on a treadmill. And look what he turns himself into. Look how realistic that is. Look, he took a picture of an actual city. He can change the city.
Sitting in his laptop.
Sitting in his laptop. Look at this. How are we going to?
You know what?
How are we going to make it?
We're going to go home tonight.
Look at this.
We're just going to start making movies. We're going to have our own production company.
Look, obviously we can. Look, he was walking in the summer, then he walks through the fall, then it's winter. Now the woods has got a fire. Now it's dark and an alien's coming.
This is great.
Look at this. Y'all, you said it. Think of that super chat, Lacey.
Cool. Thanks, Lacey.
If we don't have Jesus, we're in trouble.
Lots and lots.
And what we always like to say to you is this. This is what they are showing us they can do. This is what they've been given permission to show us they can do.
Right.
Am I right, Sandy?
I believe that.
What can they do that we don't know about?
Are they holding the really good stuff or the really scary stuff back so that we can't see it? I get freaked out by this plenty.
Well, nobody got the chicken. We forgot about the chicken.
Oh, I'm getting the chicken wrist.
Can we give the chicken to somebody? Hey, did you know that, I don't know if you were with your dad. You may not have got a chance to watch my Bible study. I'm sorry, I had to make an illustration.
What? You use a chicken
And
in
I used the chicken in my illustration of my Bible study. And it was a little weird, but I did use the chicken. This is the golden chicken. So tonight, I'm going to award it. Okay. I'm going to award the Golden Chicken Award to the entire show. Every single thing we talked about tonight. That's how crazy tonight was.
It's a record. It's a record. It's a record. Woo!
And if you have not gone to our website lately, go to our website. Sandy, real quick, I want to remind them that we are really, I know we talked about y'all, when are y'all going to build this studio? We are really going to build this studio. And life has just thrown us so many curveballs. And we are looking at cameras and everything that now. But I want to know if you have watched our TV show, if you have DirecTV or you go to Faith Now and you go to Faith TV or the Faith Now app, we have a television show that we have a 30-minute television show called The Big Picture that is totally different than this program. If you have watched it lately or if you've seen the first couple of episodes of season 2, let us know in the comment section. If you have not, you have DirecTV. We're on every Monday morning at 7:30 a.m. Central Time, 8:30 Eastern, and always available during that same time on Faith Now TV. Now, to our partners, I said something about it the other night that I was going to give you a preview of it. I've not been able to develop that partner site yet. We're also updating our website. We're going to have in the next few weeks, hopefully I can get this done, a partner part of our website where when you become a partner with YouTube or preferably through our website, you'll be given a code in the email and you'll be able to access that members area. We're going to start doing some members only stuff in there. And it will be unregulated, so we can talk freely in there. But I'm going to be putting some previews of the TV show in there and previews of some things that we'll be doing here on the show in our new studio that you'll get to see before anybody else sees it. And even what we're planning on doing too, sort of like what people do with Patreon, but like when we got some really exciting guests that are going to be coming on the program once we get our new studio put in place. And we're going to have after show things with them where we're going to talk about things that we couldn't talk about on YouTube and some other places. And our members only will have a part of that. Right now, our members are helping us buy cameras, buy lighting, buy sound equipment, buy cables, pay for television airtime. It's about $2,000 a month to be on television, which is a lot of money. But in the world of television, that's very, very economical. And we're reaching millions of people. And next month in October, it goes live over the entire continent of Africa through antennas. If you've ever been to Africa on a mission trip or anything, you know that 90% of the people in the continent of Africa and many other places in the world still have antennas on their house. And it's called terrestrial TV. So this channel will be broadcast terrestrial and satellite and blanket all of Africa. And your gifts will help us do that. So
Yes.
Closing remarks, Sandy, anything you'd like to say?
It's been quite a show tonight. We thank you guys for sticking with us. I know there were some rough spots and patches we had to get through, but we're trying to bring you the news that you might not otherwise hear. And the fact that you guys are all here helps me to be able to get through it.
And, and I'll say this, and I hope it's okay that I say this, but when the Lord decides to take your father, we are all at peace on that. We will update you because I know many people will know. Obviously we'll have time for our family. And when the time comes, we will let you know because I know many of you are praying and believing for comfort for our family, and we appreciate that. So,
yes, we do.
Love you guys. Be blessed. We ain't woke. Certainly awake. Let's bring our little baby in here to take us out. See you next time.
We
on the
are
Big Picture.
woke, but we are sitting awake.
There you go, baby. You tell me.